Hi, my name is Matthew Sorns. I wanted to talk a little bit about why we believe in advocacy and affecting public policy as a Christian organization. First and foremost, it's important to know that World Relief is a nonpartisan organization. That means we're not here to support Republicans or to support Democrats, but what we do want to do is encourage Republicans and Democrats to pursue public policies that we think are consistent with our biblical values. The values that influence us as an organization are rooted in the scriptures. We believe that Jesus is the center of all that we should be doing. World Relief and our church partners can welcome refugees at the airport, but we can't decide if refugees are allowed into the United States or not. That's a governmental decision. It takes governmental coordination to work with governments of various countries to address an enormous public health challenge like the COVID pandemic or the HIV/AIDS situation that we have been dealing with in sub-Saharan Africa for many decades now. And that's why public policy is part of the work that we do at World Relief. To paraphrase Martin Luther King Jr., part of loving our neighbors is, of course, bandaging the wounded person on the side of the road to Jericho. But another part of loving our neighbors is asking the question of what's wrong with a road where people are consistently beaten and robbed and left to die. And that's where engaging public policy comes in. Not by voting for one party or the other or supporting one party or the other, but by asking all of those involved in positions of authority to pursue policies that we believe are rooted in biblical principles, like seeing each person as made in the image of God. World Relief has been around for 80 years, and for much of that history, we've been involved in advocacy in some way or another. Going back to the 1960s, for example, when World Relief was a part of trying to make sure that persecuted Christians fleeing from the Soviet Union could find safety in the United States. Or in the late 70s, when the Vietnam refugee crisis was happening, and Grady Mangum, our first resettlement director for our U.S. programs, joined a press conference with Mother Teresa and others asking President Carter to pursue more welcoming refugee policies that were ultimately effective with the Refugee Act that was signed in 1980. In the last number of years, we've been strong supporters of the President's emergency plan for AIDS relief under the George W. Bush administration, and even more recently advocating for immigration reforms that both ensure secure borders but also are compassionate and keep families together. We think that all of these things are important systemic challenges that need systemic solutions, and that the church has an important part of lifting up our voices to advocate alongside those who are vulnerable to some of the great crises in our world today.